Yeah. Any questions from previous class? So Jenkins jobs we can create in different ways. One is the freestyle project. It's something like everything we give in the graphical user interface. We add the plugins, and then we start the job, right? So we configure the job. So this is like most of the time, let us say because of any issue Jenkins is crashed, right? So if we want to configure again, there are different ways we can restore it. We'll discuss that, but it's again difficult to restore, right? So again we have to configure, again we have to get the plugins and all that stuff we have to do, right? So uh, instead of that, if we have something called pipelines where we can maintain the code, right?
So
So
Santosh, in pipelines, we don't have to install the plugins, right?
no, we have to install the plugins, but we don't have to use the graphical user. It's all code. So we have the plugin install, all the plugins we installed before. Then we
Okay.
write the code for the plugins. Like how we are hooking the plugins to Jenkins, in the same way, we need to write the code to to do the job. Now we are clicking add a plugin, then Maven, then we are adding the plugin, then doing that, right? So in the same way, every plugin will have some code. That code we need to add in the Jenkins so that that code will do the job, and that code can be versioned. We can store the code in the repository, and we can maintain it. We can modify it accordingly as per the requirement. So that way pipelines will be useful.
Okay, so basically we have to install the plugins, but later on, like we can code everything in one place instead of going back and forth in different windows, right?
Yes, yes. So it's all in one place. We can store it,
Okay,
we can
okay, okay.
version it, and it's also easy for the developer to maintain the code because
Okay,
everything is given. So also you get to know the flow, and
okay,
so those are the advantages of having the pipelines, right?
okay.
And you have stages in pipeline wherein each stage is like a plugin.
Okay. One more thing, Santosh, if you can spend like, I don't know, 5 minutes on salt, because I have salt in my environment, and I mean, if you get chance, if you can spend like 5 minutes, how to install, how to just basic commands, if you
Okay,
know.
yeah, yeah. So probably next class.
Okay.
Okay,
And for
so
the Saturday class, I think they still haven't sent us the class video for the Saturday, last Saturday, that we have 2 hours
I
class.
I
Yeah.
checked with them. They said they have sent.
They
Yeah,
have
they
Yeah,
sent
they have
sent.
yes.
sent that.
They are sent.
They said yesterday. They have sent yesterday class, not Saturday.
No, no, both.
No, Saturday's one today. They shared today.
They sent Saturday class today.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll check again.
Okay. Okay. So basically to orchestrate the project, to define the project, so we can have the pipelines, and these pipelines can have stages. Each stage is like a different phase in the project, right? So first we get the code from the GitHub, then we use Maven to build it, then we push it to Artifactory or Nexus, then we copy that to test nodes using Ansible. So we can have different phases inside the pipeline. Then we can write the code in Groovy in pipelines, and that will be executed, and that code can be stored in source code management repository, something like GitHub or Stash, and we can maintain the versions of that code. So here infrastructure is maintained as the code, right? So we have seen a sample Java study, right? So this is how a pipeline looks like. Uh, So here there is an option to directly give the pipeline script in the Jenkins, or there is an option to give pipeline script from SCM. So if we select this second option, so we need to write a file called Jenkins file. So the same file, same code, we need to write in a file called Jenkins file, and that in Groovy syntax. So there we write stages and all, and we save that file, and we keep this file in GitHub, and then we give the repository information in pipeline, right? So for the first time, when job is executed, this gets the script from the SCM, the GitHub, and it executes it. Okay. So let us say I want to store this entire script in GitHub. I'll create a new file.
SCM mean GitHub? SCM
is source
like
code management. So it can be
okay.
SVN, it can be ClearCase, or it can be GitHub. Source code management.
Okay.
Okay, so I have stored this as Jenkins file in GitHub, and this is some Groovy code. This is a dummy code. It does not do anything. It simply print the messages. Then I save it. Okay, so there is Jenkins file in this repository. Now, if I execute it, pipeline script from SCM. Okay, SCM is Git, and so here I need to give the repository information. So I'll give this clone or download link. Give the credentials. Okay, and here I can specify the master, which branch I want to build. Okay, if I give */master, it will build the master. If I give develop, it will build the develop branch, right? So this is specific to a branch. Okay, now I'll just save it, and let us see executing it. Now I don't have the code in the job, but the code is in the GitHub. So let us see if this gets built from GitHub. So it should download the code from GitHub, and it start executing it. See, obtained Jenkins file from GitHub, so it will automatically get the file, Jenkins file from GitHub, and it starts executing the job. Okay. So this code can have, so here we only have a sample code, which is like we have different stages defined, and we have right. So here, instead of this, if we are working on a project, we can define a slave. So here we can define a slave. So on this particular node, this project will be executed, or we can leave it empty so that Jenkins will pick up automatically based on the resource utilization. If we don't give anything, Jenkins will automatically pick up, and if we give something, it will go and execute on that particular slave, right? So here we can give the slave information. If we have multiple slaves, let us say if we say slave 5, it will go and execute on the particular slave. So what is this called? Where do we define this?
In the Jenkins, in the script, right? Like we restrict to run on slave 1, or where we restrict the script run on one of the nodes, right?
Yeah, there we just give slave 5. So the same thing I'm doing in this Jenkins file. In Jenkins freestyle job, we have an option restrict where this job project can be executed. There I give slave 5. Instead of that, I'm doing in Jenkins file this way. But where do we define slave 5? We need to define somewhere in Jenkins. How does Jenkins know that slave 5 IP address is this, slave 5 username is this, slave 5 user password?
Okay, we tag. We tag the agent, right? When we add the node, we name it or tag it as slave
so when
5.
while we adding the agent, we label the node, right? So that label we have to give here. So this is nothing but the label which we have given while adding the node. So I can label like anything, slave 1, slave 2, slave 3, any name we can give, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. So if we give that label, it will pick the information of the slave from there, right? So that I'm giving as node. So I can give node, or I can leave it empty, or I can give node as any also. So it will pick from any existing agent. Okay. So
oh yeah, this scripting is way more simpler, right, than GUI.
yeah, it's simpler, but it's not fully evolved. So there are issues. It started, I think, around 1 or 2 years back. So if you use some of the plugins, they work perfectly in freestyle job. They may not work as expected in pipelines. But this is the way ahead that people are using pipelines like anything.
Yeah, one thing I don't understand, Santosh, you said we can do the backup. Like, what is
I'll come to that. That's the next question. So here actually SH is, it will execute that as it is whatever the command is there on the slave. So this is like a shell script. This is just like a Linux command. If you give whatever here, that will be executed. Echo download means download will be printed, right? In the same way, so if we execute some Maven command, that will be executed on the slave. So here, download from the sketch, we GitHub, we give something like git URL, and the URL I need to give here. We have some scripts to be downloaded, and then credentials, branch information we can give here. And if it is execute test, if you are using Maven, we can give something like MVN test that will only perform the test job. And if it is package, we can give MVN package. And if it is deploy, we can give MVN deploy. So this will be deployed to Nexus, right? So if we give some command for this, supporting files and all should be present. For example, we are using Maven. Maven should have pom.xml. So that pom.xml should be present in the GitHub, right? So it will pick everything from there. And information about Nexus in pom.xml, where it has to store the artifacts, that information we need to mention, right? And execute Ansible. So let us say here, I'm giving echo Ansible. Here I need to give something like bin Ansible playbook, right? Then full path of the playbook. So this entire thing gets executed, but this is for only a particular branch. So if you have multiple branches, I need to have multiple pipelines, right? So freestyle job, Maven project, pipeline, and then we have something called multi-branch pipeline. Right? So Jenkins should automatically detect the branches present in the repository. Then based on the branch, it should automatically perform the job. So what are the branches we have in a repository, in a project? It can have three kind of branches, right?
We have master, dev, and feature.
Master or production, development, develop branch or feature branch, right?
Yes.
So here we define the behavior. What is master branch? This is like release branch, right? This is only once in a release, right? After everything is completed, we release the branch. We release the software to the customer using this branch. Develop branch is something like all the development happens here. So this is a replica of master branch, and whenever a developer pushes, he uses feature branch. Then once testing is completed, developer merges it with the develop branch. So develop branch will have all the integrated features, right? And this is called snapshot. And this is called feature, right? So if application name is XYZ, it will be something like XYZ 1.0.1, something like this, and then .zip file. And this will be something like XYZ.1.0.1 snapshot.zip. And this will be something like, again, this will also have snapshot. From where do we get the version?
Home.xml.
This version will be in the pom.xml, right? And where do we get the XYZ? That is actually called artifact ID. XYZ is also present in the pom.xml. So based on the pom.xml, this zip file will be named, right? So a project can have different branches. So we need to define the behavior based on the branch, right? If it is a feature branch, so I can have something like just build it, just execute MV and test, right? And don't upload it to Artifactory, because feature branch can be, there can be multiple feature branches, right? So if it is a develop branch, yes, we want to build it and we want to store it on the Artifactory. So what are the things we need to do? MV and clean to clean it, clean the binaries and all, cache and all. MV and test to test it, and then MV and package to create the package, then MV and deploy to deploy it to Artifactory or Nexus, right? So here also we do all those things: MV and clean, test, package, deploy,
And there's an install also, right? MV install.
yeah, install, and release also. So if the package name is XYZ 1.0.1 snapshot, this release will change it to XYZ.1.0.1.zip. Okay, in case of release. In case of develop, it will do MV and clean, test, package, and deploy, and this will upload it to the Nexus, right? So this is the flow. Like this, if I want to have a architecture defined for the project, so I can write a Jenkins file that does all these things, right? So based on the branch, I need to define my Jenkins file to perform the job, right? So first we have repository. Now what is the next step? So there is a new project, and the project, we need to architect the project, right? So we need to define the architecture. How does it behave? So we created a job in Jenkins, and that is multi-branch pipeline, right? So in multi-branch pipeline, I need to define all these things. So whatever we discussed, that behavior, how does it build, how does it create, and all the stuff we need to define, right? So Jenkins has some inbuilt variables, right? So what is build ID?
Is that the same $build ID
Yes.
we mentioned? Okay.
This is nothing but the build number, right? So we can use like this $build ID, or we can use something like env dot $build ID or env dot build ID. This is also same, It's an environment variable. This can be printed in Jenkins file using env.buildid. env.build
Yes.
URL. URL is nothing but the Jenkins URL. It will automatically give build_status. Right, env dot what else we have, build_branch. So this will automatically give the branch name which it is building. Okay, so these are the default parameters. These are default variables. So based on this variable, we can define Jenkins file. So something like I start writing my Jenkins code. So I'll give node slave 100. Right. Then I start writing code. Something like we need to open the braces and if env dot branch underscore name is equal to master, do this some behavior which we discussed above. In the same way, else if this is all Groovy syntax. Env dot branch underscore name is equal to develop, do something, and else other than this it will be feature branch, right? So else I don't have to do anything, else I just do this. This is the script, right? So here we can define directly the code, or for modularity we can define the functions. So how do we define the functions? Here I can simply tell, I can give a new function called master branch function. It calls the function called master branch, and here also I can specify something like develop branch, else I can specify feature branch. Right. So this is the code, then we have to start developing the functions. So in Groovy we define the function like definition of the function, master branch, and then you start the code, and then we can have the different stages. What is the stage? First stage is stage download code. So here I can write something like checkout SCM. So in the job, while creating the job, we give the URL. So it will just check out that, and whatever is there in that repository, it will download. So all the branches code will be downloaded to the workspace, and it detects automatically. Even if there are 10 branches, it will build all 10 branches. And when there is a change in any of the branch, it will automatically create the job for that particular branch, right? So this way we can define the functions for all different branches based on the behavior. And another important thing is notifications, notify build. This is something like sending the mails to about the build success or failure. We can use different plugins for emailing, email ext. There are some plugins and there is some syntax we need to define. We need to tell who all are the users. We need to send a recipient list and the body and the subject. Then it will send an email about the build status, right? And another thing is publish reports. There are some plugins, HTML plugin, JUnit plugin and all. So they simply send the report, JUnit report, right? So once the tests are completed, it will automatically generate something called build.html or report.html. The JUnit framework itself generates the reports, and Jenkins will publish those reports on the console, right? So something like number of tests passed, failed and all. So based on that, we can send out this information in the mail as well. So this is the entire script, right? This is the multi-branch pipeline script. Is this clear?
So Santosh, are you saying that after you run the script, output will be like, it can be output like anything build.html or that you can send over
Yes.
to somebody?
Yeah, this scripts
Output?
JUnit will automatically generate the HTML. That HTML we need to specify in the job. So that will automatically get that and send it to the recipient list, or we can display that in the console itself.
Okay, I still don't understand. Like, so the script part will do the job, right?
Okay.
And then it will output like build or report or HTML, right?
Even in Freestyle job also, if you have the plugin called publish reports, okay, in publish reports there are options. So JUnit, when it is executed, it will automatically generate a report, right, with number of tests passed, failed, and all. Okay, so that report we are using here to publish.
Okay, okay. Just to publish the reports, like let's say we have failures, why it is failed, and go back and forth to fix it.
Right.
Like that.
Just to see what is happening, how many tests are there.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I found those reports are very useful to track down the issues, right? So like it really clearly mentioned where the issue is actually. At some point, we may have to mention the username and password also here, right, in the script for to access, let's say, to access a GitHub and all those things, right?
Yeah, we need to. So this is how a script looks like, multi-branch script. Stage, select the branch, and if the branch is this, call the function, and if the branch is master, call this function, else call this function. Okay. So this is where we define the develop branch. This is a function. So here we download the code, we perform. So here again there are functions. This is again function. This is again function. These functions are called. So based on the branch, we are doing something. Master branch, feature branch, and if we go here, these are the functions actually. Checkout SCM will actually download the code from the GitHub, right? MVN clean, MVN test, etc. So this is where the publish underscore JUnit. So it has to be something like this. So there is something called publishing the reports. So the name of the plugin is JUnit result, and the target results. So the results are stored here in .xml. So this XML it will pick automatically. In the same way, there is something called summary.html. So if this file exists, it will pick up automatically. Okay. Sorry. And this is like publish and publish reports, publish to Artifactory or Nexus. So here mvn deploy is the command. So we don't have to run the test again because in previous step we have executed. So that's why we give skip test. So that will skip and execute the remaining phases. Test it will not execute. And this is notify build wherein it will send a mail. So here we can give the name of the people, the email IDs. So it will send the build status, the job name, the build number, and etc. Result and all. Okay.
Hey, Santosh, to send emails from Jenkins server, what are the dependencies? Do we have to install like any additional packages or anything on the Jenkins server to send emails? Like in Windows, you have to install SSL Relay, right? So
no, that this thing, the SendMail plugin we need to install, and we should have the network setup, and we should have the DNS setup, and I think that's fine. That it can send out the mail if you have the proper networking.
okay, plugin for send email. So there's a plugin. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let us try a sample multi-branch pipeline. So I'll edit the same code. So we need to create a new job. Multi-branch pipeline. So this we need to start configuring. So here there is no option to provide the script in the job. It has to be from the SCM, from the source code management. Okay. So here we can specify the GitHub. We need to add Git, not GitHub. Okay, so I'll just copy the same URL. Okay, so I just given I have given the URL and the credentials, and what are the branches available here? So there are two branches, master and develop, right? So it should automatically pick up the branch, and it should create branches once we start running this job. Okay, so let us see what happens. See, it automatically finds out that there are two branches. One is develop. In develop, Jenkins file is not there, but in master branch we have Jenkins file. So it will execute based on the branch. Now if I go here and if I check here, there is one branch created, master. The other is not created because there is no Jenkins file in that branch. So when we create a branch, in every branch we should have a Jenkins file. Okay, and this when I click on this, it has created a build with number 1 and it has executed the code. Right. Now let us say I'll just copy paste the same Jenkins file to develop branch as well.
So file name should be Jenkins file where you put the code.
Jenkins file.
So you just name the code file as Jenkins file, right?
Yeah. So now there is option to scan multi-branch pipeline. If we scan
It can
it
be-
should read on the branch.
It can be any format, like text file, anything, just Jenkins file.
No, it has to be Groovy.
Oh yeah, I mean dot, like the file extension.
No, it's just a Jenkins file. Okay. Now it should create the develop branch. There is 2 branches created. One is master, the other is the develop. The default branch is master. That's why it's showing in bold. And if I go to develop branch, it has created a pipeline for develop branch as well. So even if I have 100 branches like this, it will create all 100 branches. And if there is any change in any of the branch, it will automatically build it. Right. So I'll just edit. So before that, I need to have something called polling, so that it will poll every minute or every 1 hour. Scan multi-branch pipeline interval. I can select anything, 1 minute, 1 day, 2 minutes or anything. Okay. So this will poll the multi-branch pipeline. So if there is any change, it will automatically detect. It should create a second build. Just now it has started second build and it executed. So we have the stages based on the branch, based on the build. It will show pipelines like this. So it's easy to find out where is the error. Is it failed in GitHub or execute test or package? Okay. So there are also some other
So those stages, Santosh, we can even mention like in simple pipeline, like instead of like multi-pipeline. Those
yes,
stages,
in the pipeline, normal pipeline also.
yeah. So I don't know what is
But
the difference
multiple branches we cannot specify, right?
Okay,
We
branches.
cannot build multiple branches. It's only for single.
Yes. Okay.
And there is something like checkpoint. This is available only in the enterprise edition of Jenkins. So this will show checkpoint here, something like what is happening, and there will be another phase called checkpoint that is anyway not available in the open source. And there is something called approval, right? We can specify, let us say if I want to move from development to staging to QA to master. So there has to be some kind of manual process, manual approval. Someone has to approve it. So if we have this input step, so this input is something like someone has to approve. So there it will ask you want to proceed or you want to stop, okay or stop. Here it will give an option to press OK or stop. If someone press OK, clicks OK, then only it will go to the next step. Okay, so that option also we have in multi-branch pipeline. We can write the code to do that in the Jenkins file itself. Let us say after all these things, I just want to have a input step, stage, approval, let's say input. So I'll just save this. So this is changed in develop branch. So let us say it will pick up automatically that change and build. Okay, it started building, develop branch. I go here, approval. Let us see what is happening. See, do you want to proceed or abort? If I click proceed, then only it will go to the next step. This is called input step. So if I say proceed, it will go to the next step, approved by admin 1, finished, success. If I abort it, it will abort there. So something like, let us say we want to have, when we are pushing it to master branch, we want someone to check it. So if everything is fine, application is built successfully, tests are executed successfully, just to have a kind of manual intervention, we can also have input step in multi-branch pipeline. Okay, is this clear?
So Santosh, which input you added for that proceed and abort?
It is just stage, approval, input, whatever the message you want to give. So it will stop there and it will ask you want to proceed or you want to abort.
Okay.
So this is about multi-branch pipelines. And then we have something called how do we take a backup of Jenkins. So there are plugins, something like Thin Backup. This is to take a job level backup, but we need to restart Jenkins once we restore it. Right. Second thing is generally the entire workspace we can take the backup. Let us say varlib Jenkins, and this entire directory we can take a backup of this directory. And if Jenkins is crashed, let us say the master is crashed, then we need to create another server. We need to spin up another server, then copy this entire directory back to that new server and install Jenkins. It will automatically restore all the jobs, all the job configurations. So how do we take backup? How do we take backup of a directory?
Tar.
Yeah, so we tar it, tar-cvf, and where the name of the directory. Let us say I want to give something like Jenkins 2017, some date, right? And then .tar, then var lib Jenkins. So this will create one file, one kind of archive of entire this directory. Then we zip it. This will create the zip file. So this file we generally copy it to another server, which is like a centralized server. So in case if Jenkins crashes, we get this, we install the Jenkins master again, and then we just copy the file and we extract it. How do we extract? Unzip, and then we simply say tar-xvf. This will extract the entire directory in the var lib Jenkins, and once we restart the Jenkins, all the jobs will be restored. This way we can take a backup. So periodically we need to take the backup. So generally admins will take the backup every week or every day at certain time, so that if in case if Jenkins crashes, we can get that from the file, tar file, backed up file. Is this clear? In backup is also a plugin. Simply you can go here and manage Jenkins. This is at the job level. We can take backup of our job, and if because of any reason, if the job is deleted or if the job is modified by mistake, we can always get from the previous backed up this thing. Thin backup here. After installing the plugin, we get the thin backup option in manage Jenkins. Then I can go ahead and say backup now. It will take the backup. Let us say backup is taken. Now I'll go ahead and modify something. Let us say multi-branch only will modify. Multi-branch pipeline is there. Configure. Okay, I'll delete this and I'll just save. Okay, now this doesn't have the repository. Repository is deleted. Right, there is no project repository, right? So now if I go ahead and go to manage Jenkins, go to thin backup. So I want to restore from the previous backup. So restore backup from, okay, I think I need to restart Jenkins. It should give an option here.
Santosh, if let's say if the master failed or crash, can we make the slave as master?
We can make it, but again, the backup from the backup we need to restore. Master means it will have information about all the jobs, right? So where which job is running, what is the slave's information, repository information, all that stuff. So that we need to have in the slave, right? Backup. Okay, the problem is we need to specify a backup directory. So I'll specify something, var lib Jenkins. Some default options. Now backup. Restore. Okay, this will give time-based backup, time-based restore, from which backup you want to restore. So if I again take backup, backup now, so it will create different backups based on the timestamp.
It will not back up just one project. It will back up the whole thing, right?
Yeah, whole thing, all the projects.
All the projects. Okay. We cannot back up just one project, right?
No, not one project. It's all projects. If we want to take the backup of one project, we can store the config.xml from the job. In backup, again take backup, and if I click restore, so there are two backups taken at different intervals before with 1 minute duration in between, and we can restore from anywhere. After restoring, we need to restart. What do I change now? Let us say in multi-branch pipeline. We have taken backup just now. Then I'm changing something, and let us say it will restore. So this I'll change it to none or admin. Then it should move to GitHub credentials after restoring. Okay. Okay, it is failed. That's fine. Then I'll go to manage Jenkins, thin backup. Then restore from which backup? So let's say this backup. Then restore. Then if I restart, credentials should move back to GitHub credentials from admin. So for anything and everything, there will be a plugin available. So if there is any particular requirement, we can just first search for the plugin and then install that plugin and perform the task in Jenkins. So this is the one we modified, multi-branch pipeline, and configure. The credentials are moved back to my original credentials. I changed it to admin, but they moved to again. So any modification which we do, we can always take the backup. We can restore from the old backup. It will restore the previous job. Okay. So every job will have a config.xml. Jenkins stores all the information about that job in particular config.xml. Just job name / config.xml if you give, it will show the information in XML format. If you see the credentials information, what all the plugins we have used in that particular job, that and all will show up in this job, Jenkins file, etc. This also we can take as a backup, and if something fails for a particular job, we can restore from this config.xml.
So we can restore. We can like just
copy this config.xml to that particular job. It will restore.
Oh.
It will be available in the workspace.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? Okay, so we have seen installing Jenkins, configuring Jenkins, installing the plugins, then adding the slaves, configuring the slaves, adding it to the Jenkins server, creating the jobs, freestyle jobs, pipelines and multi-branch pipelines, and configuring different jobs, adding the repositories, adding the different plugins and performing the integration, something like Jenkins, GitHub, Maven, and Nexus integration, Ansible integration, etc. Right? And also we can execute any script from Jenkins, right? We can also develop graphical user interface, something like menus. We can give the option to user to select from the drop-down list, to select from the check boxes, or select from the radio buttons. All those things we can do using Jenkins. So we have the plugins. So it's a plugin which does the job. Based on the requirement, we need to select the proper plugin to perform, right?
With Santosh, with your Groovy script, what was the what was the source code you were using?
We were using something called Stash, that is like GitHub, that will actually download the same thing. Same thing it does. It's almost like GitHub.
Okay. No, sorry, I'm saying. Remember, you run the Groovy script, and is there a same?
Our this thing?
Yes.
We run the Groovy script then. Yeah.
What was the source code? Like you pulling it from the GitHub? Like what was on the GitHub?
So GitHub has the repository.
Oh, okay. So you're just using it as a sample only. Okay.
Yeah, GitHub has a Jenkins file. So it will, when we have multi-branch pipeline, whatever is the code in Jenkins pipeline, it will execute.
Okay.
Okay. So it will detect the multiple branches. It will build them for the first time. And later, if any of the branches changed or source code is added, project code is added, defect is fixed, feature is fixed.
Yeah, can you open the Jenkins file? Can you just open the Jenkins file? Okay, the same that you were typing there on the script. Okay,
Yeah, same.
Okay. Okay. You did not like we did not try any of your own scripts that you mentioned here, right?
Yeah, I
Those
did
are-
not try any of the
Okay.
steps.
Yeah, if you can send some others, so we can like we can try like use this as GitHub and use this as a Groovy script and just try a couple of things at your own, something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll send it.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then we'll stop here. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye bye.